Election denier Mike Lindell, the MyPillow guy, well, he's now facing serious financial ruin. Who could have ever predicted that? How about everybody? Let's discuss. I'm Dave Aronberg, former state attorney for Palm Beach County, a.k.a. the Florida lawman here on Legal AF. Well, even though his guy is the president, he still can't escape the realities of accountability, of the financial markets, of the fact that he's a bit of a nut job. Election denier Mike Lindell, according to ABC News, continues to refuse to pay more than $50,000 in sanctions he has been ordered to pay to voting software company Smartmatic over frivolous election claims, alleging he's left with no money after numerous legal battles. Yes, so his business is struggling, combined with all of his lawsuits filed against him because of his election lies. He's unrepentant. He continues to lose in court. He bet a guy that he couldn't disprove his election fraud claims, and then his election fraud claims were disproven. And so he's just awash in red, in debt. And according to ABC News last month, Smartmatic filed a motion to hold Lindell in contempt, alleging that the MyPillow CEO has been dodging his court-ordered payment of $56,000, $369 to Smartmatic for months. Quote, "I'm in ruins," a teary Lindell said through a Zoom screen during a motion hearing in the U.S. District Court in Washington on Wednesday, pleading to Judge Carl Nichols to allow him to wait until after the final judgment comes out to make any payment in the case, which he has already lost. By the way, that judge, Carl Nichols, is a Trump-appointed judge. But looks like Nichols isn't giving him any favors. Lindell, however, insisted that he does not have the means to pay the amount due to various financial difficulties he has suffered over the last few years due to what he again claimed was lawfare waged against him for trying to, quote, secure the election. "I borrowed everything I can. Nobody will lend me any money anymore," Lindell claimed. "I can't turn back time, but I will tell you I don't have any money." Yes, welcome to the world of the financial markets, where if you are a deadbeat, or if you are crazy, or if you are a liar, or if you're delusional, then banks are not going to just throw money at you. And Mike Lindell is someone who has pushed forward Trump's election lies more than anyone. And he spent a lot of money doing it. And maybe as a result, Trump will give him an appointment to his cabinet, because it looks like this dude needs a job. Lindell claimed he was recently forced to lay off hundreds of MyPillow employees, lost multiple MyPillow warehouse units over the past 2 years, and even owes millions of dollars to the IRS for what he described as a COVID-era employee retention credit. Yes. There you go. He's lucky to end up like Hunter Biden with a criminal charge against him from the IRS. Instead, he's dealing with a fine. And even that, to take a detour over this story, he's also trying to get that lifted using his connections at the White House. Now, that's interesting because he has tried to get the White House to lean on the IRS to drop this matter. According to the New York Times, Trump official asked the IRS about an audit of a high-profile friend of the president. A Treasury Department official wrote to the IRS that Mike Lindell, the pillow entrepreneur, was concerned he may have been inappropriately targeted. Oh boy. A Trump administration official last month asked the Internal Revenue Service to look into concerns from Mike Lindell, the pillow entrepreneur and a leading denier of the 2020 presidential election, that he had been inappropriately targeted for an audit, according to 3 people familiar with the matter, and an email viewed by the New York Times. IRS officials did not act on the email and instead referred it to the agency's inspector general, according to the people. But the message alarmed agency staff that President Trump hoped to use the tax collector to protect his friends and allies from normal scrutiny, concerns that have only grown as the Trump administration clears out agency leadership and pushes it to carry out Mr. Trump's directions. The IRS has always been nonpartisan. That's one reason why the United States has the largest percentage in the world of voluntary tax payments, because there's a belief that you're going to be treated fairly. Yes, I know we all have our complaints about the IRS, but the complaints generally are not that it's being led by a political appointee who's doing the bidding of the president. But that could change, because now the president is directing the IRS to go after Harvard and deprive Harvard of its tax-exempt status. So the IRS could be changing in ways that other parts of the government are. But at least so far, Mike Lindell has not gotten rid of the IRS investigation, the IRS holds on his money, because the dude did it. He got the COVID benefit. He got the credit. He needs to pay it back. And as I said, he's lucky that he didn't end up like Hunter Biden. He's lucky his last name isn't Biden. According to ABC News, Lindell now says he has nothing except for 2 houses, which he claimed are in the process of being liquidated, and a truck. He even claimed he can no longer adhere to a previously proposed plan of making monthly installments of $5,000. And after listening through Lindell's plight, Nichols acknowledged that these claims are non-verifiable representation at the moment and gave Lindell until Friday to file under seal financial statements and other documents to prove his claims. Yes, a federal judge saying, essentially, read between the lines, dude, you lie a lot, and I'm not going to just trust what you say, even if you're under oath in court. I'm not going to trust anything. You must give me financial statements. This is the last guy you want to rely on his word. Well, maybe there are some others who tend to lie a lot, but Mike Lindell is notoriously unreliable. And good for Judge Nichols to say, we're not even going to trust, but we're going to verify. And as for Smartmatic, that's the competitor to the Dominion. That's the voting machine company that reached the $787 million settlement with Fox News. That is such a precedent that Smartmatic is like, yeah, let's replicate that, going after everyone, including the MyPillow guy. The problem is for Smartmatic, the MyPillow guy has like $5,000 to his name, or at least that's what he says. But I do believe that he's in dire financial straits. After all, he spent a lot of his own money to push all these election lies, and it's these things seem to keep blowing up in his face. All those lawsuits, and the fact is that it's not like his company is thriving. I mean, they sell to people in the MAGA world. There's only so many pillows they can buy. Smartmatic's attorney said his client would prefer to see the payment made in a lump sum as soon as possible, but acknowledged he would respect the judge's ruling. Yeah, you better get it as soon as you can and in cash if you can, because you don't want to accept credit from this guy. So, yeah, there are consequences even in the year 2025, and Mike Lindell is the poster child for FAFO. I almost said it. So that's the latest here on Legal AF. We'll keep following the story. I'm Dave Aronberg, a.k.a. the Florida Lawman. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, share with a friend, leave a comment below. Thank you for all your support, and I'll see you next time.
In collaboration with the Midas Touch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories at the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.